From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie. This local and regional news update is brought to you by Northway Bank. Want a Northway Bank teller to keep in your pocket? There's an app for that now available for iPhone and Android. Download yours today. Northway Bank with 17 locations throughout New Hampshire. The people you know, the bank you trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. The fire chief in Lovell, Maine says an historic landmark building in the town was totally destroyed by an early morning fire Saturday. Tommy McKenzie, a former sergeant for the Conway Police Department, says the property at 224 Main Street was listed in the National Registry of Historic Buildings and dated back to the 1830s. Most recently, it housed office space, including a real estate company, a law office, gallery space, and a quilt shop, and condominiums. McKenzie says the fire was first discovered by a neighbor who was plowing during the snowstorm and called 911 about 6:45 Saturday morning. On arrival, firefighters found one condo to be fully involved with the fire spreading horizontally. Glowing flames from the front of the building nearly reached the middle of nearby Route 5, and the road was closed to traffic for nearly 7 hours. The fire burned utility lines and disrupted power, phone, and cable service for almost 12 hours. 60 firefighters responded to the scene, including crews from Stoneham, Freiburg, Saco Valley, East Conway, and Center Conway, and rescue crews from Stoneham and Freiburg. The fire was brought under control around 11 o'clock Saturday morning. Crews remained at the scene until mid-afternoon to overhaul the debris. The State Fire Marshal's office has joined the investigation into the cause that's suspected to be a faulty LP gas heater in a unit that was being remodeled. McKenzie says he's grateful to residents and businesses that supplied water, coffee, and food to firefighters. A House committee is holding hearings on a series of bills aimed at slowing down or stopping construction of a 180-mile transmission line originating in northern New Hampshire. The privately funded Northern Pass project will bring 1,200 megawatts of Canadian hydroelectric power into New England, but it's run into strong opposition. Critics argue the towers along the route, especially the North Country, would damage New Hampshire's environment, lower property values, and make the state less attractive to tourists. Supporters argue the power would reduce the need for power from sources that produce carbon emissions. The public can comment today on bills that would require everything from a moratorium on such projects to burying the transmission lines. Governor Maggie Hassan has just a few more days to make a key decision on how New Hampshire will implement President Obama's health care overhaul law. The state has until Thursday to declare whether it will partner with the federal government to operate the new insurance markets required under the law. The governor's spokesman has said she doesn't like the idea of leaving everything to the federal government, but the governor has yet to formally declare her intention to have the state enter a partnership. In sports, despite a total of 9 penalties being assessed against them, the Portland Pirates beat the Providence Bruins 5-2 last night at Rhode Island. The Pirates are still in first place in the Atlantic Division. They travel to Hartford Friday to take on the Connecticut Whale. Johnny Gaudreau scored twice, and Parker Milner stopped 20 shots to lead number 4 BC to a 6-3 win over Northeastern last night and give the Eagles their 4th consecutive Beanpot title. Harvard beat BU 7-4 in the consolation game earlier in the day. And the Charlotte Bobcats beat the Celtics 94-91 last night to snap the C's 7-game winning streak. In the weather today, mostly cloudy this morning, then becoming partly sunny. A chance of snow showers. Highs in the upper 30s. West winds around 10. Partly cloudy tonight, lows around 18, and partly sunny on Wednesday. Highs in the mid-30s. From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie.